We're live. It's good to see you all today. My name is Tina, and I'm working with Show CASA Love. And today we want to thank Hancock County Bank for matching all of our donations today. So if you happen to work at Hancock County Bank, or if you're pleased with them and you want to see the become the Valentine of the Year, just simply donate today, and that it will lead towards the company that has the most donations during their day gets to be our Valentine of the Year. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the history of CASA, both national and ours. Let me get those up. There we go. Good. So in 1976, Judge Sukum said he needed more information to be able to properly adjudicate what the foster kids are going through. And he asked for a volunteer who went out and sought more information, talked to the kids and the parents and the foster parents, and the preachers and the teachers and the doctors, and talked to everybody and kind of got the ball rolling, became the first CASA volunteer. 7 years later, CASA incorporated. In 1983, it began. It stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates, and it has national standards with training standards. It's got organizational guidelines. It's got everything you need to be a national organization. It grew from one organization to now it has over 950, and it's in 49 of the 50 states. A Child's Place CASA was started by Rhonda Stubbs. It became incorporated in 1998, and the first child it was assigned to was in 2000 in February. So happy birthday to us. It's our 23rd year. We have to follow all the national standards. We have to follow all the guidelines, and so it makes CASA organizations all very similar. Do you remember our first case? I'm going to try to play this. This is Rhonda Stubbs talking about the very first case that Child Place CASA had. But I'm having some technical difficulties, and it's not coming through real clear. So we're going to try it. And if it doesn't come through real clear, you can go to see it on our YouTube page. Search A Child's Place CASA. You'll find the YouTube page, and I believe it's already up there. If not, I'll make sure it gets up there. Yeah, that was the problem we were having last time. I don't know what the deal is, but we're going to work on that. In the meantime, we're going to keep going. We're going to talk about the first volunteer class. The first volunteer class, and pretty much every class afterwards, has around 3 or 4 people in it. They were sworn in February of 2000, and they were working with Brooke County, West Virginia. And so Brooke was the first county they worked with. A little while later, Hancock came along. In May of 2014, A Child's Place CASA was located in Wellsburg. And they were on Main Street in Wellsburg. No, they're on Main Street in Follinsby now. Thanks to J.J. Barnaby, who provided a neat building for them to be in. Now the building needs some work, and we're looking for volunteers. So if you happen to be very handy and you can't afford to donate today, you can still help us out greatly if you could volunteer to do some of the repairs that need to be done. A year later, in March of 2015, a regular person, just a parent, wrote to the new judge in juvenile court and the juvenile system and said, you really should look into getting CASA in our county. And the day that he received the letter, he called that person up and said, how about a meeting? And that person brought Rhonda Stubbs with her. And Rhonda Stubbs walked out, adding a third county, adding Jefferson County, Ohio, which is a unique situation because it's across state lines. That doesn't happen very often. She also got a satellite office, which is next to the juvenile court. So she's right there where she needs to be when Jefferson County Juvenile is ready. I asked her one day what was her biggest struggle, and she said having enough volunteers. She said the number of children grows and grows, and you can't always keep up with it, with the number of volunteers. In 2012, there were 88 children that CASA was working with and advocating for. They had 16 active volunteers at that time. Now, they have 187 open cases, and more than 70 of those children don't have CASA volunteers. So we are looking for qualified volunteers. The counties are split. There are more than 50 in each county, so it's pretty well balanced. Not completely exactly, but close to. Brooke County and Hancock County in West Virginia, and then Jefferson County in Ohio. And they each have more than 50 children in each county. So it's a real interesting split. How can you help? Well, you can donate. You can share the information, share this post, share this Facebook Live, share this YouTube, share what you learn, and learn more. You can always contact us. Go to our website at childplacecasa.com or email childsplacecasa@comcast.net. You can also go because I'm broadcasting, simulcasting, you can go to go.rallyup.com/show CASA Love 2023. That's go.rallyup.com/show CASA Love 2023. And that will get you to a place where you can see a lot more of what's going on. And that's where we're also broadcasting every night at 6 o'clock as well. Let me switch back over. And let's take care of this. Oh, it did that right. Okay, good. Well, before we close today, I meant to do this yesterday and I completely forgot. I have a success story to read to you. This was written in the child's own words. It is on the National CASA website, so it's not a local kid, but we're not allowed to tell the local stories anyway. So this one's been approved, the names have been changed and all of that stuff, so that they're protected. But this person approved us being allowed to read this story to you, so let me read this to you. I was 7 years old the first time I was taken from my home. Foster homes came and went. Schools were here and there. Caseworkers drifted in and out of my life. After 6 years of placement, the court appointed Pat. Pat came to see me quite often and called me when she couldn't come in person. She worked with my lawyers to appeal the court's decision. She got me visits with my old foster family, made sure I was seeing my therapist regularly, and checked with my teachers to make sure I managed in school. She brought me newspaper clippings of youth who made it through hard times and of students who were able to get scholarships to cover their education. I never had someone stand up for me like she did. She stood before the judges, the lawyers, my mother, and caseworkers, and wasn't swayed by their opinions. It completely amazed me. I trusted her I trusted her more with every visit. She became not only an advocate, but a friend. Earlier this year, I testified to the Legislative Committee on behalf of the CASA program. At the end of the testimony, I said, to give a child a CASA is to give them a voice. To give them a voice is to give them hope. And to give them hope is to give them the world. As a child who was assigned a CASA years ago, I believe that with all my heart. So you can see the difference that a CASA makes. And I really wanted to interrupt with there and say things like the average foster kid goes from 3 to 5 homes and things like that. But I wanted to read the words that that this child, or this grown-up now, was able to put down and express how much her CASA meant to her. So we want you to help make that difference. Hancock County Bank is the one that's doubling our input today, our donations today. So if you donate, say for example that you want to donate $3.50 to serve a child for one day, it's like actually donating $7 because they're going to match that donation. So rather than saving them for one day, you'll have taken care of them for 2. Think about this when you're doing your donations. Go to go.rallyup, RALLYUP.com/show CASA Love 2023. And if you have any questions, feel free to go to that website and ask me a question, or email childplacecasa@comcast.net, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. This is Tina, and thank you so much. Bye. Alrighty then.